are we doing today, people? How did we get to this point? I mean, look, people don't understand that things are getting really bleak, okay? Things are getting really serious. During the last recession, or the last great recession in 2007, 2008, 2009, I didn't feel it that much because I didn't have much. And there are lots of people my age that didn't have much. We were just starting out, beginning to climb our way. Right now, it's a whole different ball game. I got family now. I got a wife and 2 kids. And I got vested interest in the economy. I have savings. I have investment. Look, it's a whole different ball game now, okay? Especially for people around my age, middle-aged fellas. You know, I'm 44 now. And here's why I say this. Inflation used to be 2%. Interest rates used to be below 2%. So we knew from the get-go that this wasn't the case prior to a few years ago. Back in the 80s, interest rates were super high. And I believe inflation, there was a time when it was super high at the time as well. But in the past few decades, it's been, inflation has been about 2% approximately, and interest has been a little less than that. So your savings is not catching up with inflation. What has now happened is inflation has skyrocketed. Do I call this galloping inflation, or do I call this runaway inflation? It's gone so bad that if this continues, it's going to be a really serious problem. If you're saving, listen, if you're saving, it's about to get really bad for you. I've seen a lot of old people who are living on their pensions. They begin to, everything is now rationing. Okay, heard of old people getting together on nights so that this person switches off their bill, their appliances and heating system today, and they gather up in one other person's house for the evening until they're going to bed just to save, and then tomorrow they rotate to another person's place. Guys, this is not, if you think I'm not being serious, this is the Republic of Ireland, okay? That this thing is affecting everybody and is worldwide. Let me show you, let me give you a few instances. Exhibit A. Sweet shop closes as higher bills leave owner with just 97 cents. How can you have a business that you're going bankrupt because of bills? Not because there are no customers, not because you're not making sales, but because of bills. Maybe it's a combination of all, but this is just ridiculous. Okay, this is beyond ridiculous. Closing your business because of bills. Exhibit B. Threat of new levy on energy profits as households hit by 4-figure bills. So you're gonna levy energy profits, okay, fine. But at the moment, households are hit by 4-figure bills. I'm gonna bring this home in a second, okay? This is just in a newspaper. Exhibit C. Voters feeling no relief from cost of living pressures. This this seems funny, but I am telling you, this is not funny at all. People are looking at this and let me bring it all around. This is my own personal bill. Look at the bill. Look at where I circled the first one, see the amount. The second one, see the amount. And just before you think that this is a kind of edited mishmash, look at the dates. It's the exact same time period. 2 months. Okay, for the same bill between last year and this year. And this is what I got. As soon as this bill came in, listen, I got the bill through the door. I got the bill through the door. As soon as I opened it, I was like, there must be some sort of mistake here. First thing I did was call my wife. I said, do you see this? She looked at it and said, what? I'm like, yeah, this seems to be real. I need to give them a call. I gave the call. Actually, before I give them a call, I told my wife, cancel that direct debit straight away. There's no way I'm going to be paying this amount of money. And then she went ahead to say, maybe talk to them first. I said, no, we ain't talking to them first. Cancel that direct debit. If you're not doing it, I'm going to do it. Cancel that direct debit first before I even give them a call. And she did. And then I gave them a call. And I was like, okay, can you help me understand what is going on here? She tried to break it down. She couldn't understand it either. I said, okay, take it. She said she was going to put me on a hold to speak to her manager for some minutes. She left. And then she came back and she said, well, it's kind of legit, but she can. And I said, you can understand where I'm coming from. See the difference between the two bills. How many times have you multiplied it? And then she said the rate has changed. The government, rates per unit, watts or whatever, how they measure it has changed. And I said, really? I looked at the bill. We both broke it down. We used the exact same amount of energy for those 2 months. But the bill, as you can see, is about times 3, almost times 3 of what it was. So I said, okay, I'd like to speak to your manager. She passed me on to the manager who did the breakdown. Rates that has changed, and they showed me the rate. And then I brought out my calculator. I said, let's go through this, me and you. And then we went through it step by step. I had even forgotten how to do it because back in the days, 2011, I used to work as a door-to-door salesperson for an energy company. I'm not going to tell you which one. For an energy company. And I used to do these calculations for the customers. So when they brought it out and we started coming back to me, and I was like, yeah, okay, this unit multiplied by that number of days, the VAT, the standing charge, this and that. And by the time we had added everything, they actually said this was an estimated bill, okay? That I should go take the proper reading and then come back to them. So I went outside. I found my key that I used to open the electric thing back in the days. I had 2. I opened it, took the reading, went back to them. Now they've changed the meter. It's a kind of smart meter, so it's not the exact same thing. And they've kind of changed things around because you're going green and all that. So I wasn't used to this meter. I took the reading, went back to them. They said, that's not the correct one. So I went back out, went around the building. Long story short, I got the correct meter, I got the reading, got back to them. I showed them what the reading was, and then we looked at the reading that was the estimate on the bill. The reading that was on the actual meter was more than the estimated bill. I was like, let's stick to the estimate. I was like, let's stick to the estimated bill, okay? And I said, okay, so here's what we're going to do. I've taken off my direct debit. I'm going to put it back on. But before I put it back on, I'm going to pay half that money, okay? So I paid half of that. And then we got back on direct debit. But this is what I'm saying. Look at the final exhibit, okay? This was my total bill for 2022. For the whole year. You can see what figure that is. And now compare that to the first 2 months of 2023. Now the next bill is gonna come out in the next 2 months. This bill is for December to January. The next one is gonna be for February, March, which is the end of this month. If that bill comes, if that bill comes and is still multiplied, I'm just gonna thank God we're going into the summer. Okay, we're just gonna go buy fleeces and duvets, and everybody at home, you're gonna cock up like we're Eskimos, like we're living in an igloo. I believe the house will even be colder than an igloo, but we're gonna dress like we're Eskimos living in the igloo. That's how it's gonna be for the rest of this season. Hey guys, that brings me to the end of this video. Let me not take too much of your time, but that's it. If things don't start coming back soon, there's gonna be a disaster, okay? Worldwide, there's gonna be a problem worldwide. You think you're making some money or a lot of money now? If you don't find a way to cash flow, passive income to get to get some money, you're gonna be in trouble in your old age. Our retirement and pensions is not just gonna cut it. So you're gonna go for plan B, plan C, side hustle A, side hustle B, side gig D2, whatever it is you have to get yourself into, okay? Just make sure it's not illegal. Okay, I'll leave you there for now and see you next time.